the word Moulinyan isn't really offensive. The news shouldn't be watched by anybody. Diversity in the workplace, overrated. And boy bands, what happened to boy bands? These are Unpopular Opinions. I'm Dave Temple. Let's get started. Hey, and we are back. I'm Dave Temple. These are Unpopular Opinions. I have with me my co-host, the Wandering Polak, this seersucker, Sadie. I don't know. Can we make up a
I was about to say the seersucker motherfucker.
Nah, I want to go vulgar. No. I gotta go. What do you call that? Analytic? No. What is it? Alliteration. Yeah. Okay. Seersucker, Sammy. Seersucker, sir.
Seersucker. Oh, you put me on the spot here, man. I love alliteration.
With the bucket hat, SS Seersucker. Come on. Come on. There's something there.
Something. Yeah.
Either way, man. Comrade Roth, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
This outfit is amazing. You do realize.
Yeah, I mean, because it's entertainment. You know what I'm tired of is people trying to dress like they're just a person.
Well, Instagram will tell you that. Instagram will tell you that men dress like this for work. Like Instagram will show you here's a guy with loafers and his slacks stop at the calf and he's carrying a duffel bag, and you're like, yeah, where the fuck is this man going?
Yeah, but this is entertainment, and that is. Those are tools. I don't. Yeah, like the way that they try and get, because they're just trying to push out product. They're like, you think we can get these suckers to buy this bullshit?
Yeah.
And they do. They're like, let's get this guy wearing penny loafers with no socks and flood pants.
A graffitied overcoat. Like that's always funny to me. Like an overcoat with a graffiti design on it. Where it's like, who the fuck? Who would buy this?
Yeah, Can
you imagine a guy on Wall Street with a graffitied fucking overcoat?
Because they have no identity, so they're staking their identity in where they live and then what kind of bullshit that they wear.
There's nothing inside. That's why they cover up everything on the outside.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm also tired of the guys that wear you see this now in like businesses. Like people need to start wearing like just suits. Like, no one fucking cares about your style or, like, your unique personality. Like, I hate going into, like, you see, like, in a business and everyone's wearing a suit and then some guy has, like, pink elephant socks on. It's like, oh, that's my personality. I wear these crazy socks.
Yeah, what are you, a pediatrician? Like, grow the fuck up, dude. That's like, when I used to understand, a pediatrician would have, like, a Superman tie on. Like, all right, dude.
Yeah,
whatever.
We need to go back to the times of, like, Mad Men. Like, we're men, they wear, like, monochromatic suits, black ties, they smoke cigarettes, and they drink. And they
died at 55, but they had 3 martini lunches. 5
That's
days a week.
right.
They don't need to be around.
And now we're in some
And to the left of me, T-Rex from the BX.
All day, every day, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, and when you have the Sunday, I just took my mom to church, and I was obligated to put on a suit, so I did, and now I'm on the block, like. You do feel like you still could stop in front of a bodega with this suit on, and everybody's just like, "Yo, what's up, Cisco?" You know what I mean?
Because the one cool thing about me from a very young age is I was taught to always be myself and not worry about what other people thought. So like whatever I'm wearing is secondary. Like
good for you.
I was always raised to look somebody in the face when I talk to them, and I'm not worried about what you're thinking. You know what I mean? But then again, that came from me having to fight every day from walking funny. So.
Jesus Christ.
Well, my feet point out like this.
No, I remember those days.
Right?
I used to beat on kids that walk funny too. So like,
I'm glad we met now. Because you had a lot more friends than I did. I definitely would have got jumped. Then again, I wonder how it would have been if I grew up in Philly. Would I have had to point my... Because one of the reasons I never learned... I can walk straight, but one of the reasons I don't is that nobody ever beat that into me. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, somebody would have took you under their wing. I think Philly is like that, where like there's always a guy like me who was like, all right, fucking, he's good. Like stop. You know
Well,
what
no,
I
I had
mean?
something like that, but I never had to walk straight for anybody.
But we would also like we would take like the kid that like couldn't walk that well or something, and we'd G him up, and then we'd help him get his points up. But we find someone even smaller and more deformed than him, and then be like, kill, like And,
Right, it was just a circle of life through it. But yeah, no.
But it's like, come on, you're not a real like the realest friends. They bring their homie in a wheelchair to the club. You understand that, right? Like
and they carry him up the stairs because there ain't no ramps in that bitch.
And they'll help him change his diaper.
Yep.
And they'll pay a prostitute extra.
Yeah, but the outfits myself, it's interesting because like wearing this gives you like even especially like on the block, you look like you're going somewhere, you look like you're doing something, so even less people will fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it actually throws people like a little bit off. Like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Like you just said you went to church, you wore a suit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sunday, all right, well, yeah, they must have went to church.
Yeah.
But wear a suit on Tuesday or Wednesday. What the fuck is this? You going to court or something? Nobody associates a suit and tie with anything good.
Unless it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, the sneakers with the suit lets me know it's a good occasion, if that makes any sense.
Because you ain't wearing the sneakers to court.
Yeah.
You don't wear the sneakers to your lawyer's office.
Like the sneakers with a suit in the hood lets me know this guy cares today. If he's wearing those little turned over shoes, like, oh, he's ready to go to jail.
Why don't they start? Everyone in the hood should start wearing suits.
With sneakers every day?
No, or maybe, but I'm saying like how like you watch the old Italian movies where they're like on the block, like they're these gangsters.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe the hood needs to appropriate that culture, and then everyone's wearing suits.
Well, we tried to, but Italians really didn't like us at all. I mean, there was some like I thought we would hit it off. Just looking at Italians and blacks, it seems like they should hit it off and get along.
But I don't think Italians get along with anybody.
Well, yeah, but Italians have weird names that they make up for everybody, and kind of like to talk to you about that in Unpopular Opinion. Italians use the word Moulinyan.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, here's the thing: it's the intent is bad, but I think that the word Moulinyan should not be considered offensive because it means eggplant.
Really?
Yeah,
that's what it means.
I think so.
Holy shit!
And because black people are dark,
right? But like calling and then like because there's
that's
ways.
Just funny, actually.
Yeah. So like if you think there's a lot of things. First of all, eggplants. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like one of the best looking vegetables.
Moisturized, yeah.
Or they just look slick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And there's no negative connetions for an eggplant. And all the
dicks in the emoji.
Yeah, and they're in baba ganoush, they're in eggplant parmesan. Like it's healthy. It's a vegetable, you know what I mean? But also too it's like it's weird how like certain things get caught up in like offensive. Sometimes a lot of food, like if you say like about an Asian guy that he eats rice, like that's bad for some reason. It's like okay, whoever or like I don't know, the fried chicken one's a little weird, but it's like if it's just like the color of somebody, and it's like hey he's a color of eggplant, Moulinyan, and it sounds great too.
I hate it. It's a good sounding word. In my opinion, it was wasted as a racial slur. You know what I mean? Like. Italians have other words that would have been like gnocchi. That would have been a good racial slur.
What's that mean?
That's like their pasta noodles.
Oh, gnocchi.
Yeah, however you say it. That'd have been a good racial slur.
Yeah, it's fucking gnocchi over here.
Moulinyan is actually like a beautiful fucking word,
and if anybody could take a word back and make it positive, it's black people. Like black people could take the word Moulinyan.
I think I'm about to. Yeah.
I think that would be I think that would be really good for people to do, would be to reclaim that one.
We should make, because Moulinyan sounds like it should mean sex. Yeah, a little bit of Moulinyan.
Now, but here's the problem. The shorter version, like Moulinyan usually would get a pass, even if you said it with venom, right?
Yeah.
Like, because nobody really knew what that was.
Yeah.
But everybody knew what a moolie was. So once you heard, that's the problem with Moulinyan is you shorten it to moolie and then that's it. You get shot.
But also too, that one word doesn't sound too bad because I think the most offensive are like hard syllable words.
Mooly sounds like a cow insult more than anything else.
A cow?
A cow insult. Moo. That's, you know.
That was so childish.
Yeah, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. You know, I grew up not too far from Little Italy, and I never got to experience like Italian racism. But Italians as a whole, especially Italian Americans, they're like a fucking endangered species now. So the word itself is falling like out of favor. Like, you know, like if somebody calls you that, especially if they're not Italian, like get the fuck out of here. You know, like, you know, it doesn't incur the virtual the venom. You know what I mean?
Right.
That it would have, or the wrath that it would have incurred. You know.
Especially, well, I mean, but like, are Italians anywhere near as tough as they used to be? So I think that's another thing. Like, a lot of Italians made a lot of money in the 80s and 90s. So all of their kids are pussies, dude. Like, there's not really like, there's no Guidos.
That's an interesting point.
Well, that's like
Jersey Shore isn't what it used to be, dude. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, you know, they're just like, everyone's a nerd now.
But I will say this, a large amount of them became bouncers. And a large amount of them watch a lot of MMA. So I'm going to say they're just as tough, if not tougher, because they do a lot more steroids instead of cocaine now. So.
I get that.
Yes,
but
we're being very general.
We are being very general. And I'm going to make another general statement. Here we're aware that big, beefed up bouncers,
but
they're very scared and they're trying to prove something to themselves.
Also,
you know what I mean?
But you also don't see as many of them. You understand what I'm saying? Culturally speaking, but not only that, they're everybody's become very, like, they have their own enclaves now. They don't come out and play with us anymore. It's not like back in the days. Yeah, it's not like back in the days in New York City. Like, go back 20, 30 years ago in the 90s, everybody was, you know, here in the city. Now, you know, they stay in Long Island.
But you know what? Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
Italian people hate cities.
Yeah.
Like American cities, they don't stay in the cities. Like even Philly, like if you go down to Italian Market, it's all Hispanic now because they like space and the suburbs.
Well, yeah, and I mean that kind of leads to the next unpopular opinion I want to talk about, man. You know, I think diversity it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like mixing too many people together, especially like in the workplace. You know,
it ruined the Lady and the Tramp remake.
What you mean?
I just watched the Lady and the Tramp remake.
Yeah.
And what they did was they basically made it as diverse as possible and sucked all the joy out of the movie. Like they purposely put they extended the scene where the doctor where they run off to the doctor. They actually had the doctor in the movie just so they could have an Asian actor play the doctor for 2 lines.
Yeah.
Like it checked off all the boxes. So yeah.
Like I just think mixing stuff together isn't as healthy as we think. Like, what is the least healthy chips out there? In my opinion, it's party mix.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, once you throw all of those different salts,
primarily because of the sodium.
So many different types. You know what I mean? Like, this, and that's the same thing that you're doing with diversity. Like at work sucks. People gotta be together 8-9 hours, man. Like, you can't really cut up and fuck around.
No.
With someone that's not of the same ethnicity of you or the same age group. You know what I mean? But like they insist on putting that shit together. Like, you know why incredible stuff was accomplished in slavery? Because there was no diversity in slavery. Like, in any kind of slavery you've ever seen, whether it was in Egypt, here in America, like, boom, they were able to get through it because they're all the fucking same. So you can get through hard times when you're with your people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I see that point, man. You know, especially from like a musical standpoint. You know what I mean? I'm sure there aren't any old Jewish spirituals, but we got a lot of good Negro spirituals as a result of you know. So.
Yeah, dude, they were making music under those conditions. That's not going to happen when there's diversity. It's not going to happen.
You know why? Because you're all together. You're all sharing the same culture, so you guys are all getting the joke. The problem in the workplace is when somebody doesn't get that joke, and they complain about it.
Yeah.
So now the problem becomes one of cultural interpretation.
Yeah.
Well, he called her a bitch. Yeah, hold on, but they're both black, so he's allowed to say that because they're of the same culture. So he didn't call her a bitch. He said, "What, bitch?" Completely different. You're not getting the way he said it. You're just going by what he said.
Right. Or like, you know, I remember I used to work at this cheesesteak spot in the airport in Philly, and girls, they used to, touch me, and people would be like, "Yo, you can't be touching him in his privates like that." And I'm like, "Yes, she can. Yes, I'm with it." You know what I mean? Like, and they were black.
If you don't have a problem with it, it's not harassment. Even though somebody looking at it from the outside is defined as harassment.
Yeah.
Hey, what they did was harassment. Yeah, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Same thing with anything else. Oh, it was a crime. I'm not pressing charges. That's it. Nothing happened.
Do you know how the like divide and conquer is a way to destroy societies or like conquer societies? Maybe that's the same thing with diversity too. Is like force them all in, and they eventually won't agree.
They'll kill each other, yeah.
Or they'll just do whatever. Like they'll do like different. Like they won't all do. Like if you put too much stuff in something, you're like you're trying too hard, or there's too much in here. Why is this? Like,
and then they load you up with information that that's really just going to, I don't know, rouse you up. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the news kind of comes in on these situations, right?
Yeah, the news, their whole priority now is like, you ever see Fight Club?
The movie, yes.
Yeah, so he has this thing where he can't go to sleep, and then like he cries at some at some like
a TV commercial.
No, he cries.
He cries at the meetings.
Yeah, at the meetings, right? So when I used to get really mad at the news, so I stopped reading it, and then what I realize is when I see these stories now, all they're trying to do is they're trying to make you upset.
Yeah.
And once I realized that it's like, oh, you don't even believe what you're saying. You just say this because you're not making any money, so you're just like trying to stir the pot a little bit, and then I just don't even get angry. I slept like in Fight Club. I just went to sleep, and I'm like okay with like it really came to head with that Simone Biles girl. Like she like whatever. I'm not even talking about what happened. I don't know what happened in her life or what the Olympic thing. Fine, I have no idea. I have no opinion on it. But what the news does is they say she quit. She's a hero. It's like, you're just saying that to fuck with us.
Yeah,
like, you don't believe that.
Because if you go on another channel, it's she quit, now she's a pariah because she did this. Right now, the news, which is interesting that they call it the news when it's always the same shit. There's nothing ever new. But everything in the is you have your own, whatever your point of view is, there's a news for that to keep everybody separate.
Right, but it's just fucking with you. They don't believe it. Like if you sat someone down, they wouldn't believe it. But I don't know. I think you just got a lot of people in the world, and they don't know what to believe, and they just they just say whatever benefits them.
I was a salesman for a majority of my life. I've done door-to-door sales. I've done ad sales, cold calling on the phone, all of that stuff, and I made a lot of money doing it. And I didn't believe in a goddamn thing I sold. Ever. And that is sad. That's dangerous. But that's what the world is. You're gathering up young men who are ambitious to be successful, whatever that means. And, men who have ambition, women who have ambition are willing to do whatever anyone says. If they're like, hey, if you do this, if you pick up the phone and call 80 people a day and tell them this, you will be rich. And, okay, yeah, I can do that. You know what I mean? And out of those 80 people, I'm going to sell 20, because they buy into my presentation.
Yeah, and what the news is what they're just selling you liquid detergent, right? It's like they need to talk that shit so you watch, and then there's bounty there.
Yeah.
And then that's all that they're doing. But I don't think that they're getting – I don't even think that journalists get paid.
Yeah, I don't even think journalists know about the stories that they're going to talk about until someone puts the paper in front of them. Like, I don't even think people who report – are aware of anything that's going on.
Not anymore. No, you don't have to be.
Yeah, I don't even think they're getting paid.
No,
I'm telling
you, on a boat.
There is a clip of a reporter who just went rogue live, and he goes, "We have to get paid. We have not been paid for a long time," and then they just like cut his feed. You know what I mean? But like, and it's funny because he at least he had the balls to speak up. And it's funny how many people will sit there not getting paid and just go like, oh.
Yeah, I think that I think there's a lot of people out there not getting paid for jobs that you think they get paid for, but the whole thing is just to keep up this grand illusion that this is a great job.
My bad to cut you off. That's every major city. People who live in major cities, the fantasy of what we live in We don't create anything. Right. We consume. Most of us are in debt, and you can just file bankruptcy, and you don't have to leave the city. You don't even really have to downgrade your apartment. You can just like do some paperwork and stay and figure it out, and somehow your life. Like if you have a luxury apartment in New York, you will never be homeless. You will never be hungry. You can be $1 million in debt and still eat steak and caviar every night in this fucking city. Like it is amazing, and it's not just this city; it's every city.
The only way to fuck that up again is drugs. It's the only way to fuck it up, because the drugs will lead you to get rid of everything that you own for more drugs, and then eventually.
I don't know. Done. There's some people who
there's a highly functional drug addicts.
Not even, but even just based on their social circle. They can be fucked up. Or I mean, think about how many cops have been caught pulling another cop over and being like, "All right, dude, come on, we got to get you like home." You know what I mean? Like that guy clearly has a problem, and you're always going to find people that will enable your situation. And I think in a city, a major metropolitan city, we're all enabling each other. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we all, as long as we all stay, the city somehow it just works.
Yeah, it's like what, one big cult or something.
Yeah.
You believe in this thing here. You believe in this city. You believe in where you live. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't live anywhere else. I couldn't live in Nashville. You know, no disrespect to Nashville, but your bars close at 2. What am I doing there?
New York is like what I grew up in. You know what I mean? Like if you're struggling in your situation, someone will be arriving to the situation to the city who's new and lesser than you that you can leverage to keep your lifestyle going without. It's like
what that thing? What's that? Amway?
Yeah, exactly.
Pyramid scheme, dude, literally.
Fucking Port Authority. Someone is walking out of the bus station every day, preparing to be taken advantage of by some old city slicker who they're at their wits' end, but they still know how to hustle you, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like that line in Wolf of Wall Street when he's like just takes money from people. He's like, I can spend it better than they can.
Yeah,
I like that. I'm about to fucking con somebody right after this.
To society, like at least you go to a state like Wisconsin, people are making cheese. You know what I mean? People
farming,
they're doing something that puts into. No one in the city provides any value at all.
Except
entertainment.
For I was about to say nightlife and culture and shit like that. Yeah, hey, we got a museum and shit.
Look what I can do.
We consume way more. New York City consumes everything, produces nothing of like that material, not material, but of that like nutritional value.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know,
you can't grow can't grow anything to eat here.
Financial services, like stocks, like.
Yeah, but everything here, like if you go away like 2 hours away, 3-4 hours away, there's farmland and shit like that. But like as far as it goes with New York City itself and all the 5, the Park Slope Food Cooperative that has a garden in the back can't feed everybody. You know what I mean? So that's just
A couple years ago, you would not find a carrot in Brooklyn, not in Bed-Stuy. Oh God, there was no carrots anywhere, dude. And nobody knew where to get them. You know what I mean? And no one knew how to grow carrots in their backyards or their brownstones. You know, people are using it. Everyone's got like a swing in their backyard, like no utility. The city has no utility.
I wouldn't need food grown within. No,
why not?
Where you getting water from? The East River? Nah, B, we good.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's a reason why you get food from a farm all the way the fuck over there, because that land is cleaner.
You're not gonna convince me you need clean water if you eat bacon, egg, and cheese out of bodega. Like
you need clean water. It's like one of the few things you actually need. That's why do you think motherfuckers if they don't have the cases of Poland Spring in the house, that they have the filter on the sink, dude. They don't play that shit.
Yo, I was saying this the other day, this weekend. You know what you could literally do, and we could make money off of it, and we just got to get some bunch of bottles, is you could sell Brooklyn tap water across the world if you wanted to.
That's funny.
I think anything that's Brooklyn on it, people are like, it's like its own brand.
You don't even purify it or anything?
No, Brooklyn tap water.
Straight from Sandra's kitchen to you.
Yeah, and then... Right, and then we just get some fucking warehouse, and we get some, whatever, somebody from Port Authority. Hey, come here, I got a job for you.
Yo,
start filling up these bottles of water.
Dasani water is just Georgia tap water.
Really?
Dasani water.
Their
It's
water
just
is so
tap water.
fucked up though. No, their
Good for them.
Their
They
water
run it through
is
like a
like
filter once and
Dasani?
that's it. Yo, for
They
real.
put a little bit of sugar in
Pepsi,
it too, yeah.
Pepsi company just like bottles it there. All they did was turn on the tap and just bottle the fucking municipal
and
water.
that stuff does not taste like water. There's something.
Aquafina?
Both
It's
of
either
them,
Aquafina or Dasani, one of
they
those.
both. You're like, yo, this feels like it was like this.
I know
like,
Dasani and Nestle
Why is it
got
gritty?
caught putting sugar in their water. And that's why people were loving it. And I think Aquafina got caught. They were just bottling tap water.
Yeah,
just
what
sealing
else?
it
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Gotta look it up later.
Yeah,
But
I'm telling you, it's $1
definitely.
million idea or more.
Yeah, Brooklyn
It-
Air, Brooklyn Water. I'm
Brooklyn,
with it, man.
Brooklyn water. That's it.
We talked about this on the IG Live last week. People who make you aware of some shit you didn't know.
Right.
Like just to alter your, I don't know what you call that, but those are bad people.
Well, your perception, your mind. You know what I mean? Like, but I think in that one, you something like Boom Bye Bye, you needed to know because that's fucked up.
All teachers are bad people.
No, I don't think all teachers are bad
terrible
people.
people.
No.
Teachers, yeah, you're robbing children.
Math
of their
teachers could go
innocence.
fuck off.
Those are the best teachers, actually. They're teaching you something worthwhile. You know what I mean? Math cannot hurt you.
So you're saying, I mean, math made the atomic bomb, but you're saying that anybody who pulls back the curtain is bad?
Yeah, there's nothing good that comes from knowledge.
You don't believe
Dave's
that.
a mad ignorance is
You
bliss
don't believe
type of
that.
guy, man.
You
But
do
yeah,
not
but
believe that.
It's funny because like, okay, I get it. It's art, it's culture, and everything. It's one of the few things that I'm like, man, I don't ever have to hear that song again. And up until I found out what it was about, I had a lot of good memories with that song.
Yeah.
But now, no, it is like I don't miss it like at all.
Childhood.
Well, isn't it like beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Like you can be like, doesn't mean that to me.
Yeah, but murder's universal.
You know what other song was like that for me? Like Return of the Mac.
Okay, yeah.
Because
Once you
it's
hear the
such
lyrics,
a happy song, and you're like, hell yeah, like let's get up and do something. And then you listen to the lyrics, like, wait a minute.
and he's whining the whole song. He's acting like a beta male.
Yeah.
The whole song,
Like-
he's just like, I'm doing this because you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
This is what you're responsible for.
Yeah, but
Instead
he's coming back to
if he had said that, if the song would have been like,
that's
oh man,
return. I'm
fuck you
returning.
bitches.
I'm the Mac.
That's
The
after all
when you
of
listen
that
to the
whining,
lyrics,
you gotta
the
get,
lyrics are all him.
You
whining.
lied
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which a man, I'm popular opinion, a man should never, those words should never come out of a man's mouth to a woman.
What?
You
lied
lied
to me.
Like that, yeah. If anything, they should be said very softly with a hint of menace.
Yeah.
Like, there's
but
gonna
like, not with the tremble.
Yeah.
You lied to me. Like, shut your bitch ass up and take the lie.
That's when you got to do like your best like Liam Neeson impression.
Yeah.
You lied to me.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Can we have? We should do have that as a segment, as a list of, because I don't think these kids know how to grow up anymore. So you should be like I don't know, like internet dad or whatever. It's like, here's what you don't do. Like every time it's like, here's one, because everything they're now with kids like, whatever you want to do, go ahead and you do that. And
Yeah.
then they get older and they're like, well, nobody told me not to. It's like, yeah, because
You know-
they yell at us when we tell you that that's not the right way to be a man.
That would be a hilarious segment, but if we do it again with Gay Blind Mike and we just have him talking in his bathroom like
Yes.
he's talking to himself in the mirror,
Yes.
but he's raising himself.
Yes.
So whatever he comes up with as far as like how a man should be is just this little boy coming up with it in his bathroom mirror. I'm totally on board with this. I think that
I think Mike could be down.
yeah, like, and I mean, I think we do it full on Home Alone too. You know, like he's he's got the towel on, he's spraying Right Guard deodorant on, and he's just lecturing himself.
Gotta live, man. You can't have that. You can't have that. Listen, if somebody, it's almost like any relationship. Because let's make it universal. You know, whoever's the man. If a gay dude's, that means neither one of y'all can have the wobble in your voice, because y'all both men. So there's no, you lied to me. No, motherfucker, y'all both men. You say that you lied to me.
Yeah.
You carry your heart in your
You
hand.
lied to me.
You
It's
lied
such
to
a
me.
funny phrase.
Yeah.
Even me saying it out loud. I've never said that. Maybe I called somebody a liar, but
Yeah,
you
I've never-
lied to me.
And he sings it in harmony. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
like-
when you don't listen to the, because it's the hook, and the hook is you lied to me, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this shit is hot. And then when you hear what he's singing between the hook, it's just the whole song is, you cheated on me, so now I have to go back to being a Mac, right? But it doesn't sound like that. Once you hear what he's saying, you can't unhear the song.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is how we do it. Great song, because the whole song fits in the tone and tempo of what it's an upbeat song. It's great. Donnell Jones is not whining. This is how we do it.
I'll be honest with you. Again, another unpopular opinion before I bring the guest in, because I see he just walked in here. But like, men shouldn't be making songs about women that they broke up with at all. Like, there's really no reason to give that kind of like, because if you're making the song, you're just whining.
But you're making the song for every dude that can't make the song. Because what are you gonna listen to when you drinking yourself to death in a bar?
That's what I'm saying.
And annoying everybody else.
I don't think men should be putting that emotion into song.
Yeah.
Put it in a book. A man can't drink himself to death while reading a book. You know what I mean? He can get the insight and be like, oh, wow, this bitch is scandalous. Go tonight. You know? But he's not going to be in the bar like, oh, you know what I mean?
No, you don't cry at the bar. You just sit there and you stew.
Okay.
This is not autobiographical.
How about classical music?
This is, again, I'm dating a Latina woman, so I'm learning about the Latinos that I see in the neighborhood.
Yes.
I'm just now understanding those, like, guys that sit in the car and just blast that real soft, honey, mom, like that. He's in his feelings about a girl right now,
Yes.
and that's how Latino men are dealing with it.
Well, some Latino men hit them. Some Latino men kill their pets. You know what I mean? Some Latino men threaten them. It's real shit. Some men like, period. But that's why you have those songs have saved, like. Without those songs, without that, you don't get Family Ties. You don't get one of the biggest, the most memorable episodes of Family Ties. Billy Vera and the Beaters, when he's talking about a woman that he's trying to get. You know what I mean? Like, you need that, man.
I guess so.
You know what I mean? Like, the reason for that energy, for that is for somebody who can't
Do push-ups?
articulate it. Well, no, hey, look, man. Bill Withers could do some push-ups. But the reason for that is to put into words something that somebody else might not understand. Like, when you hear it as an older dude, you know what I mean? It hits you different. Or when you're old enough to get it, you're like, oh man, you know. And sometimes it helps you just close that door, man.
Dig it.
You know?
All right. Well, the door is open, man. Our guests has just come in, man, and see him here. Give it up for Eneo Bong, man. Eneo Bong. Podcast favorite, man. First time in the studio, always dropping fire opinions on the live, man. Welcome, man. Welcome to Unpopular Opinions. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm pretty well.
Yeah,
How you guys?
good.
Yeah, man.
So what's your unpopular opinion this week?
Migos. I think that the current status of R&B that's what's affected the deaths of our black children. So it's reflective of the lack.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's no more kids groups.
Kids Bop, like?
No, I mean like Jackson 5. No
ABC,
more.
Criss
Yeah,
Cross.
yeah.
Jackson 5 was Kids Bop, wasn't it? Like, that was the
No, because
original.
Kids Bop covers songs.
Okay.
Jackson 5
Yeah.
did their own thing. New Edition, New Kids on the Block.
What black R&B group are you aware of right now? That's
Like
popular?
kid-wise? Ooh, well, yeah.
Migos was the last kids group, and they're a rap group.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, Migos was a kids group?
They
started
were
out-
children.
they
were
were
I
like
just
children.
assumed they were
14,
like in their
15.
20s from the jump.
Yeah.
See, and that's how officers are treating our kids nowadays. I think
Legit. I thought they were
there's
adults. Like, the first
there's
time
a
I heard
parallel.
of it.
Yeah, boys. Put on a Bugle Boy shirt. Stop showing off all your tattoos.
Hold
know
on,
what I
Walking
mean?
Like I Talk. Wait, Raindrop Drop Top is a kid song, or is it when they're older?
No,
I learned that from kids younger than me. Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. Kids definitely bop and, vibe
I
all
assumed
that
they were
shit.
adult drug dealers.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no more like positive, like R. Kelly, Chris Brown, just negative R&B images have root because we used to be on the bedrooms of their children, these officers. So they're, you have a
Posters.
daughter,
Oh, okay,
the posters,
yeah.
and now we're no longer in the bedroom wall.
Yeah,
All
so
that-
there's
we curse too
no
much.
there's no connect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
You used to want to be.
Yeah, that's
in
why
that
everyone just has a
creation.
Black Lives Matter sign because
Yeah.
it's like, well, we know that we don't know who anymore because
You can't shoot a kid. You can't shoot a kid if you have Rockin' Robin playing in your head.
yeah, so
know what I
are
mean?
we never gonna get another chubby checker that can just take the edge off of black people?
I don't know, man.
There's gotta be
It's-
some chubby.
It's been like a
Pushover.
good 8 years.
You know who could really help that? Like, Kenan Thompson could do it.
Okay.
Like,
Can he
I think
sing?
Kenan Kel could pull off, like, you know, giving us that like no edge black guy that, you know.
I see the anger in Kenan Thompson's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you see it, like he's like, I'm tired of all this shit.
Yeah.
I think anybody who tries will get a case. You'll find out he has a horrible past. You know what I mean?
You know what he would play? He'd
He has
play-
that's what Keenan's Cosby background will come to light. You'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, snap.
he could play a great disgruntled veteran police officer. He just has that look like I'm done. I'm tired of all this shit.
I've never seen him say a bad word, and as a disgruntled officer, you got to say bad words.
Comes out whenever he's around Kel.
Really?
Because you see the tinge like, yo, I am over this shit. I don't want to be standing next to this.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see
still
little
do the-
tinges.
Wow, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a weird thing, man. Like, when you're like that, because that's the other thing. Can black kids hide, like basically, and this is going to sound bad, but we're aware.
Unpopular opinion.
Black kids kind of go through a mutation around adolescence. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't stop them from going down that hardcore gangster route.
It's the hood bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like, Bow Wow was fine. He didn't really need to walk through those doors. Walking through those doors did nothing for him. It did not convince any of us. All it did was take his career a bit further.
That's what I mean.
Like, down. But he was, like, okay with that.
So all of our past representations of those wholesome images are looked at as suckers. Like B2K, they all got molested.
Yeah.
Jesus.
According to Raz B.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
unpopular. Yeah, so nobody wants to be. I feel like black people as a collective are like, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not doing that. So all the kids who can sing just put on auto tunes and become rappers.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, are they really rapping? You know what I mean? Because that's the other thing. Like, you know, when you listen to someone like Lil Uzi Vert, in my opinion, Lil Uzi Vert's an R&B singer at this point. You know?
Yes, but a very shootable one.
It's right in the name.
Right? Like I see that diamond in his forehead. It's a target.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you're saying R&B singers weren't shootable before?
No.
Why nobody shooting at Luther Vandross?
Right?
Not album cover Luther.
you're gonna
but
shoot
you
it-
know Luther didn't look like that all day.
Nobody-
Luther was like a black woman. You got to catch him. He's got a 4-hour window of like his best.
I'm not gonna stand for you. Disgracing the good name of Luther
I'm not
Vandross.
disgracing him.
You telling me you can shoot a young Michael Jackson?
Oh, nah.
Young Michael. Nah, but
Mike was hood.
like
Mike got a
Teenage
pass
Mutant
everywhere.
Ninja Turtle Michael, like when his nose started to
Nah.
spread, he had spots.
Even then,
Like-
he was a real one. Mike was a real. Was it? Mike has shooters. Let's put it like that. Mike has shooters. Mike was real.
He hang with them bow ties.
You know
What
what I'm
do
saying?
you think if young black kids started wearing bell bottoms? I don't think you can shoot a black kid with bell bottoms.
Not, because I think it makes it even more funny when they're trying to run away. You see the swish.
But you're talking about the
You
image.
can't- I don't
no-
think that'll help.
There's no. So what you're saying is that there's no positive stereotype for young black kids.
Yeah, we used to have wholesome image.
Right,
And
right.
now that our image has been degraded, the way we get treated has been
I mean,
degraded.
I don't. And that, you know, it's funny that you say that because I think that now the wholesome R&B character is like it's an Indian kid now, or like an Asian kid. Like
Right.
the black kid is no longer the
Yeah.
cool kid on the show. Like, hey guys, I'm gonna show you all how to be hip. You know what I mean? Like we're done with that.
Yeah,
But do you think it's because the black kid's going to get clowned?
No, it's just too much diversity.
Oh,
We
okay.
had to add.
It's more. They were more mainstream now.
Yeah,
The
like
black kid's the normal kid on the show, and then like the Asian kid is the when we all have to learn from now.
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
We're gonna learn about.
When
his
are we
culture.
going to start learning from Eastern Europeans, like the Russian? Like the Russian kid shows up to us. He's like, hello, I eat cabbage and potato, and
Those days are done.
my family survived Cold War.
Perfect Strangers went off the air in '91, right?
Oh,
Don't
I
be
come from
ridiculous.
Meepos. Oh, yeah, that was good stuff.
That was the last like quirky white guy teaching you kind of stuff thing there.
What was the show?
Perfect Strangers.
Balky.
You remember Balky?
Belky from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, where the fuck was he from?
receptionist.
Though? What country?
He was from the
supposed to be from
fictional
Greece.
Greek island of Mypos.
Okay.
I come
That's
from
what
Naples.
Migos sounds like. It always sounds like some Greek city. I'm like, they're like Migos. I'm like, okay, where's? It sounds like a restaurant in Astoria, Queens.
If
Isn't
Migos drops
Casamigos?
if Migos drops a track called "Don't Be Ridiculous," we know where they got it from. So y'all
Don't be a ridiculous. Don't auto tune that shit. I can hear it. I'd bump that in the club.
Yeah, man. So they were the last ones, man. So there's gotta be. I feel like in the TikTok and YouTube era, because that's the other thing. Yeah, we're all well above the age that, like, if a little Bow Wow or a Criss Cross were to drop right now, is that really coming on our radar?
Right, we
You
wouldn't
what I
know
mean?
until they had already.
You'd have to be huge,
Yeah.
But
I'm by no means an Ariana Grande fan, but she's so big you can't not hear the music.
But technically, it should be easier because there are more kids with access to presenting themselves to us as an audience.
But with that, kids are really notoriously at like keeping stuff like at that level. Even and now they have more disposable income than ever to like support it. So it doesn't. By the time it's on our radar, they're already on to the next thing.
Now, Eneo, is this strictly for boys, or do you count the young girls also?
Young girls.
Because there's like there are girls that are like 16, and I hate that, this like young sexification of like women in R&B, where they're all like talking like babies, and they're all like, yeah, do me, ooh, and it's like they sound like virgins. You ever hear like they're all like, yeah, give it to me, like boom, 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 and you're like, has this little girl even had sex before?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I think they're under the same influence where they go like the Meg Thee Stallion route, like you said, with that whole over sexualization.
Yeah. Like even
weird.
Little Kim was like that, where it's like, there's no way you suck as much dick as you sing about. You know what I mean? Like there's just, and then you got older and found out girls don't really enjoy sucking dick as much as Little Kim was saying. It was like, oh, Biggie was telling her to say these things.
Well, I mean, there was a lot more cocaine back then, right? So
To make her say that, or
to make her do that. I don't think girls give a fuck.
oh, Kim was walking in how she talking, huh?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Kim, a real one. We don't want to catch no $150s off of your homies, all right? We just joking, ma.
do
Because
you
they
think
run
it's
up on you outside the studio.
Do you think
Yeah.
it might be a conspiracy theory that they're making all young black kids rappers so that they can go out to the world and be, you know what I mean?
There is a line there that I try to avoid is because I don't want to be labeled that black conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're
but
saying there's plenty of
'cause-
talent agencies that are being presented with dancing black children, and they're like, nope.
But that's also because that's not even that. It's not really conspiracy. That's not what's selling right now.
But it all happened at the
positivity
same
doesn't sell
time.
anymore. You know
it
what I
all
mean?
happened at the same time. Michael Jackson, Prince dying, No More Kids group, Chris Brown catching all these cases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rihanna
But it's like
lost
the
that
same
fight.
thing they do to Eastern Europeans. They make them the bad guys in all the movies so that you're just like, yeah, fuck Russia. And then you're like,
Well, they also did kind of play the bad guy in real life. You remember
If
some
you're-
of these
if you're
wars?
American, yeah.
yeah, I know that, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what they're doing. Is like it's like almost like it's like patriot propaganda.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it could be the same thing with like the propaganda to have the young black kids like to be shown in this different light instead of the positive disco R&B whatever. It's
Yeah,
like
it makes it easier to shoot them. I think it's all.
Because if you want to get like propaganda-wise, like music-wise, think about this for a second. The year before NWA drops, Public Enemy is doing record numbers. And then as a result of that, you get X-Clan. But NWA gets pushed the heaviest because, and they're both Public Enemy, X-Clan, and NWA are giving you narratives of life on the streets, but only one of those is from a criminal perspective and not from an uplifting perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a reason why Arrested Development only had that one album. Because remember, in the early 90s, you had Arrested Development, you had there's a whole Spearhead, you had this whole movement,
Tribe Called
going
Quest.
on, bubbling, native tongues, all of that shit, and all of that gets pushed away for this wave of gangster rap because what you push is what sells.
Yeah.
Take a positive, turn it into a
Exactly.
negative. Like Robitussin. That used to be very positive in my childhood. Now kids are mixing it with Sprite and turn it up like calling
Yeah,
it
but
lean
that's
and all
insane,
types
ain't
of stuff. That's
Well,
crazy.
maybe also because there was a phase where we were infantiling black men and making them dance a lot. You know, that Laffy Taffy phase, that Soldier Boy phase.
True.
You know what I mean? Where
Oversized
there
titties.
were a
Yin
lot
Yang
of
Twins
grown
dance?
men, huh?
The Yin Yang Twins dance?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they definitely weren't trying to shoot people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think the Yin Yang
Yeah.
Twins ever had I've never listened to a full Yin Yang Twins album. Not sure if one exists, but maybe I'm sure there's a deep track.
Right.
Track number 8, they might talk about some gangster shit.
They
But-
make strip club music.
Right.
That's what I love Yin Yang Twins for.
Yeah. So I guess, but you know, like that was kind of like that sing-songy era of like that was bringing us down to childhood, and I think we didn't like it. I don't think we liked, black children. You know what I mean? Because that was always, remember there was a period people were drinking out of baby bottles.
Yes.
And putting pacifiers in their
Syrup.
hair. Yeah, it was like,
Scissor.
we really, so I guess we needed to be like, no more children shit. Make these black men grow the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, man, I can respect that.
Yeah, the fastest way to do that, through violence.
It's like we started to actually live out the parody of "Don't be a menace to society" while drinking a juice in the hood.
yeah.
Like all the tropes that movie covered came into reality. People were actually sucking pacifiers, like for real. Like,
Yeah, it got crazy. I wrote a paper about this in college, and
shit.
I don't know whether I fully believe that. I just wrote it to graduate. You know what I mean?
What was the title?
They don't dance no more, based off of
Yeah, Goody Mob.
Goody Mob's song. But it was, so I basically was taking a West African dance class, and this guy, it was not the most masculine thing I had ever done, but the girls was hot, you know what I mean? It was cool, you know what I mean? So I needed one more credit to graduate. The professor was cool, and he was like, all right, if you can write an essay, I'll get you the credit that you need. So I had to pick a topic and write it. So I wrote about how we don't dance. That
Right.
gangster rap was pushed forward to make men not be in touch with their strength and what their bodies could do. Because that was the one thing we did learn about West African dance was, regardless of how sissified we might look at the moves as like, black men that grew up here in America, they were like, no, this is some manly superhuman shit. Like these dance moves, if you was able to jump off the ground like that, like, yeah, women want to mate with you, you know what I mean? So like, and they would dance in these circles and work themselves up into a frenzy, just like sports where, boom, second quarter, they lighten up the scoreboard doing some amazing shit. And it's like, yeah, by us not dancing, it kind of let us not tap into that.
I have another unpopular opinion about African American dance, though, which
Okay.
is I don't think Africans dance the way African dance.
Oh, shit. You think what we're doing is all some bullshit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I like the advent of social media because you can now see the world at your feet, and it's like I don't see any Africans who have those jerking movements. Like if you think about it, African dance study, it feels like white people went to Africa, saw African dance, and did their rendition and told black people what African dance was like, and that's the interpretation that we're using.
Yeah.
When it's just like it's
Funny.
I've never seen across the whole of Africa, West Africa, South Africa, East Africa, nobody has flailing hand movements. It's always more
other than white people.
smooth. It's always smooth waist shit. But I'm like, if I were to interpret this wrong, I can see how you get to the whole all the hand jerking and all that. I'm like,
Or even worse, they taught them incorrectly on purpose,
Yeah.
and they laugh at
who
you.
knows?
Well, we always give them way too much credit, but because that's like those videos. You ever see those videos where there's like those white women giving hip hop dance
Yes.
instructions?
Yes, the breakdance.
And you're just like, ooh, this is cringy. You know what I mean? And it's like she was dead serious
Yeah.
with this shit. You know,
Karen does the Cabbage Patch. Like,
Karen pop locking. Yeah.
Or that movie, Save the Last Dance. Is that what it was?
Yeah. White girl comes to the hood, and she's just dancing with the blackest man in Harlem. She would have gotten her face cut. You know what I mean? By Thursday.
Jesus.
Dude, that's the way.
never seen the movie, so.
It's the way people behave right now. Dude, I told you guys I got chastised on the train because some Jamaican women thought my girlfriend was white. My girlfriend is Puerto Rican, but very light skinned.
Chastised.
Oh my God! Like you ever just hear Puerto Rican people go? I mean, not Puerto Rican. You ever hear Jamaicans just kind of in the distance?
Yeah, it starts with the teeth sucked.
But you hear them like yelling, and you assume they're talking to each other,
But they're talking about you.
But like as time is going on, and you're like, who is still fussing? You know what I mean? And you look around, and they're making direct eye contact. Like, oh my God, you guys have been yelling at me the whole time. You know what I mean? And it was just that now that you realize they're yelling at you, and you're hearing it, and they're going in about her and her hair, and I'm a bati boy for being like, and then it's just like. This is fascinating, you know what I mean? Because it's like I can't stand up for myself. I'm not gonna fight two black women on the train. That's really not gonna look good with this light skinned woman.
Oh yeah, you would do that. Yeah, you don't want to end up.
But you know what I mean? Like that is the narrative. Like they will chastise you, you know, for going out.
See, but then if you're alone. And you would try to approach those women, do you think that they would be receptive to, like, they don't want anybody else to have them, but how productive are they with?
Well, I think in that case, you were saying that they were older women, right?
Yeah,
they were like auntie granny age, so they were really coming down on him because he's fucking up for the next generation. You know what I mean? That's what it was. So he's not like he could even like holler at them. Their life had already passed him. I think a big part of that was just them hating on like people being together, period. Because if you on the train without your man at that age, there's no man there.
Yeah, they're not. They weren't like, you don't yell at a relationship and then go home to your loving relationship.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like no one has ever been like, that is disgusting. Come on, honey, let's go home. Like, you know, like people who are in love can respect anyone else's love. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing when people get all like, we need to respect this kind of love and that. You got to talk to the single people. You got to talk to the single bitter people. Don't talk to me. I'm sitting here holding somebody's hand. Leave me alone. Like,
although it is powerful when the people in love hate the same thing. That is, you ever seen that shit? It's like, these gays. Like, calm down, heteros. You're fine. Just walk over there.
Hey. But that means they're exploring some serious ground in their bedroom talk to get to that and find out where they both stand.
Yes.
And bring that united front outside, you know?
Those are my favorites. The Jesus loves everybody except you. Like, whoa, slow.
Yeah, but sometimes I always try to figure out which one of them came to that realization first. Because one's hate is always a little bit more than the other. And I feel sometimes you'll see the significant other trying to compensate.
It's the more dominant one. Yeah, whoever runs the household, that's who brought that narrative there also.
Yeah. And now you can get to that even quicker with the advent of the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just meet people based on mutual hate now. You just go on the internet. I don't like this group. I don't like this group either. We should hang out.
Clan dating.
Yeah.
Meet. Yeah,
man.
All right. Well, Eneo, man, this was dope, man. Tell the people where they can find you if they're looking for you online, man.
Man, I'm trying to delete my social media accounts. That's why I keep changing my names.
Yeah, we've been there before. I remember we closed out this way on the IG Live, and you're like, I guess here, and that account has done nothing since then.
I try to keep it because I'm eventually going to do something, but so for now I'm just trying to lay dormant and clear all my footprint out of all the old shit I did until I figure out something new.
Do you still look on there? Like, are you on there looking at stuff? Or
I'm active. I'm active, but under a different name that I just don't want public because I got like stalkers and weird shit going on.
Yeah. So it goes down in the DMs. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. I guess that's what we saying.
Right.
I guess 3bach.com, but it's a website that doesn't even work yet.
So if you
look by the time this drops.
Right.
Not even by the time this drops. No, I'm not putting this shit up.
If you're watching this episode and you want to see more of Eneo, just rewind it and watch the episode again.
Keep watching this until
and then you have to really be dedicated to search through, to backtrack. You know what I mean? Like, because you're in the archives on the live, right? He's in the archives on the live.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go
see him here.
Yeah, the next time you guys book me is the next time they'll see me.
Should we digitize his face?
All right, Eneo, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate you, man.
Peace, bro.
Yeah, though, man. I think that's an interesting point that he brought up, man. Like, I don't know where I think there has to be some sort of at least a black kid a part of something. Maybe a K-pop band or something. Like, you know, like I
But now you want affirmative action for pop music.
Do I want
We're
it?
just going to throw a black kid into the...
Well, you can't just get rid of them altogether. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just have black people dominate R&B for decades and then just remove them from the thing and now it's just tan people, you know, with bronzer on. Right?
Yeah.
That's
I think with what it comes down to it, though, like I said, I'm pretty sure, like we were just talking about, because it's a kid thing, they're out there, but they don't blow up as much because our attention spans have shrunk. So if you're a kid, you're like, hey, I like this guy. Well, who do you like tomorrow? Oh, that guy's done.
yeah.
That's a very
I've
big
also said
part
this
of it.
too, and maybe the world is just waking up, man. Child stars are going through it. We have yet to hear anyone who was famous before the age of 18, and then they go like, what? Everything was fine. I had a great time. I made a lot of money. I'm normal. It's child abuse.
The only kid I think that might be, and I think he disappeared from the public eye, might be Skippy from Family Ties. Mark Price, because he started doing comedy like in the 80s.
Yeah.
So he did the whole TV show thing as a kid, and then he did like a comedy. Like he was a stand-up comedian for a while, and then he just kind of like went away. The ones who do well, we don't hear about.
Yeah,
because there's way too many shows that, like, if you go back, like the kids from My Three Sons grew up okay. Ron Howard, Leave It to Beaver, he grew up okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We don't hear about the good ones. It was the 80s and cocaine that really did a lot of those cats in. Because Todd Bridges wouldn't be doing stand-up comedy right now if he didn't develop that drug problem.
What do you think? You think he'd be writing shows?
Yeah.
Like, you think Todd Bridges had talent out, like script writing?
Anybody?
Talent?
Well, here's the thing. Anybody who works in that, you can fake it. You know what I mean? Because if you read a script and you know how to read a script and recite a script, that's one step away from learning how to write the whole thing yourself.
Okay.
You understand? Because you have the format up here. You've already done 75% of the work, and it doesn't even have to be that good. Because once you write it, somebody will polish it for you. Then somebody produces it. Then they do rewrites and this and this and this and that. You know what I mean? But you have to plug yourself into that system. Kids like Todd Bridges got plugged out of that system because instead of going that way, they were like, hey, we're going to go over here and do these drugs and shit. That's real shit, man. In the 80s, everybody was doing cocaine.
Yeah.
It's really an 80s thing. And the example for those kids is what gave all the next generation of kids like, hey, we got to fucking pour Britney Spears.
Yeah,
she could have been a lot worse if she was in the 80s because she'd have been dead because of drugs.
Now she's just struggling with mental health.
She's struggling with mental health, yeah, but
for too long. She did
but
it too long.
that's a, you know, I mean, look at Dana Plato. Dana Plato died at 34. Kimberly from Different Strokes.
Really?
And before she died, she had I think 2 armed robbery convictions. Think about that. You go from NBC primetime to robbing a 7-Eleven at gunpoint. You know
was
what I mean?
it really? It was at gunpoint? Because
Drugs,
I was already
bro.
about to argue the armed robbery thing.
It's drugs, bro. I'm pretty sure it is. And if I'm talking out of line, if I'm remembering it correctly, then apologies to her estate and everybody. But that's what I'm saying. Think about that for a minute. You can fuck up your life. You can go from the penthouse to the outhouse in the time it takes for me to finish this sentence. You got to make it's the choices that you make. Because think about it. If you're again, I hate to harp on Todd Bridges, but if Todd Bridges had gone to acting classes, or if any of these kids that had fucked up had gone left instead of right, or vice versa, it's a completely different story. And there are people who do that, but we don't hear about them because there's no money in a happy ending.
Yeah, we don't buy anything good. Like humans, we are addicted to. Like, we only want the other stuff, you know.
You want to see somebody who had it all and fucked it up, so you can go, oh well, I'm glad that I don't have that because that could have happened to me.
Makes you feel better.
Yep.
It's what's my favorite thing to watch on the internet now is people who are like rich and or famous complain about how their life sucks. It makes me feel so good. It's like listening to a Zen album of like just like sounds in the forest. It's like it just washes over me and I feel great.
I know. Finding out rich people are not happy, it does help.
Jim Carrey said it best. He said, I wish everybody would be rich so they would realize that having this stuff doesn't make you happy.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm learning that now.
Yeah.
Happiness comes from within.
Yes.
Within.
Or just
the penis, all right? Within the penis, all right?
And the release of the interior.
I stand by you got to come every day, people. Every day. Cisco doesn't agree with me.
No, listen, whatever works for you. Because for some people,
Happiness comes from within.
Right, but for some people, coming might be eating. It might be drinking. It might be, you know what I mean? Or whatever that is. Just don't do it to excess.
The best things I find, are things exiting your body.
Yeah.
That's like, that's the real joy of life.
Yeah.
Not blood, in case there's any cutters out there, all right? Get help.
Blood?
Not blood.
I don't know. They do that with the suction cups, too, where they take out your...
Yes, but it's not
blood.
leaving the body. People who cut themselves actually think that makes them feel better because they get a rush from the actual act of it and the lowering of blood pressure, depending on how bad.
Well, there's something to
fucking
that.
gets,
You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
The best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been a fun one, man. Let's button this up, man. Conrad, say goodbye to the people, man.
Goodbye, everyone.
Right.
I am Walter Cronkite, and that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
T-Rex from the BX. Say goodbye to the people.
Everybody be cool, be safe, stay healthy. God bless y'all.
And again, I'm Dave Temple. These are Unpopular Opinions. I think we've learned a lot. I think when it comes to choosing racial slurs, don't waste the pretty words. All right? Get back in touch with your own people. You need to be with your own kind. I know we live in a world where people do want us to matriculate, but at the end of the day, are we doing ourselves any good? And be on the lookout for, young boys. Just encourage them to sing, It could change the entire outcome of the whole BLM movement and just relationships between black people and police. If we just get young black kids to sing and dance again, make some pop music, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And remember, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're wrong. I'm Dave Temple. These are Unpopular Opinions.